Yo, what's going on, and welcome to some Tales and Tactics. Now, I saw this game came out a few days ago, and there was a demo for it, so I decided to give it a try and see what I thought of it. And it was kind of fun, so I wanted to play some more. Now, if you don't know what this game is, it might be a little bit niche, but it's pretty much an auto battler. So if you think of like TFT or Autochess, it's the same as that, except the twist is that it's single player. So you might be like, how does that work? You're not playing against other people. Well, essentially, like there's challenges set up in a run, I guess you could call it. It's like a roguelike. I'd say that auto battlers are kind of similar to roguelikes because you're kind of like building your team up as you go, adding items to them and stuff like that. So it has all of those aspects as well as some other modifiers you can maybe get to the specific run or to your board or to your units or stuff like that. And then you're running into challenges along the way where the enemy units might have stuff that you can't really get, which makes them a little bit more challenging, like buffs or something. As well as in between matches, you have like decisions to make. Like you can sacrifice you could spend your money like at a shop, or you can sacrifice your health maybe to get a power up, or there'll just be choices of power ups. Maybe some of the power ups will have a downside while others won't, and you're just making choices like that. So anyways, yeah, I played a few runs in the demo, but the demo was very limited as to what you could do. It only went to like Act 2, and I think this game is currently in early access, but the full game should allow you to go all the way to Act 3. And I will start at the beginning for now, but I think it's probably easier to just start here. The first few matches are just literally teaching you like how to play in the new run thing. So here's a whole bunch of stuff. In the demo, you couldn't unlock any of this stuff, so I didn't bother reading it at all. But now we should be able to start unlocking it. We have the first thing on here, which just enables traits. So if you think of like TFT or something, when you get to, I don't even know what traits are in TFT. I haven't played that game in so long. But I remember when I used to play, there used to be gunslingers. You get like 2 gunslingers on the field, and all of a sudden all gunslingers have 15% more attack speed or something like that. So it pretty much just enables that, as well as the enemies also get traits. So it's very fair. Every time, I think almost every time you get a buff here, you will also give the enemies a certain type of buff. So you're not just getting stronger, you're also making the runs a little bit more difficult. Now, as far as characters go, this was the only character in the demo. You couldn't play any of the other ones, and I think we have to unlock them first before we'll be able to play them. They also have like stuff here, but you couldn't unlock any of that in the demo either, so we'll be learning all that stuff, I think, after runs. I think you get a currency for completing or just doing a run, and that lets you unlock that stuff. Probably in this unlocks menu you see over here. But let's get into a match. We'll kind of see how it's going. The beginning's very easy. Like I said, this was also part of the demo. There's a lot of dialogue. I'm probably not gonna read it. I started to read through it in the demo, but I didn't find it that interesting. It's mostly just setting you up to make decisions or something. So here, usually if it wasn't the tutorial battles, then we'd have like 2 choices of who to verse, and the rewards would be different. We'd also get an idea of what we were gonna fight against, so we could either pick an easier match, or we could pick something that has rewards that we need, stuff like that. And so XP is going to work a little bit different in this game.
These guys are frontline unit, right?
We'll explain that as we go. So here you can see down here we have our army size. Currently our army size is 1. And we have star points, which is how you buy units. And you have separate currency, which is gold, which you spend at shops and in events and stuff. So that makes it a little bit different from TFT, where you only have gold. In this game, you have 2 currencies. You also have hearts up here. You can see, as it says, if you lose a match, you lose 2 hearts. And if you win a match, you gain 1 heart. But you can only have a maximum, at least maybe it's different between characters, but this character can only have a maximum of 4 hearts. So if you lose 2 matches in a row, you die. Or I had one instance where if you lose to a boss does 4 hearts, so that also kills you. So you gotta be careful for that. So here you can see we have our units already. We got 2 star points, enough to grab 2 units, but our army size is only 1. So we're probably looking for just like units that synergize. I'm looking at these because we have 2 reptiles. So the cool thing about this game is all the information is displayed in front of you. So I can right click a unit and learn everything about it. Plus, since it's single player, I am not under time constraint. I can go as slowly as I want, read as much stuff, make as good a decision as I want. So we can hover over the traits here, and we see that reptiles gain 10 armor every 3 seconds. They also gain 5 attack speed if we have 2 reptiles on the field. Here you could see, I can't move my mouse down to it, but you can see at the bottom trait units. Those are all the units that I guess it saved information from the demo, because I uninstalled the demo and then installed the actual game, but those are all the units I've discovered. So you can see that I haven't even discovered all the reptile units yet. And then I have discovered all the tank units, apparently. Tanks take 10 less damage from all sources. While any tank lives, all allies gain 2 mana regen. So mana, just like TFT, is what you use to cast your abilities. You can see here, I believe they start with 40 mana. And then units gain mana per second equal to their mana regen. Where's mana regen? 6. Okay, so this guy has 6 mana regen. So you can see for his first cast, it's going to take him about 6 seconds to get to his first cast. But then after that, he's going to have to wait all the way to get to 75 again. So what I think I'm going to do is, since we have 2 reptiles here, we might as well look at what Poisoner does. Attacks from Poisoners apply debilitating venom for 3 seconds. Venom reduces healing effectiveness by 50% and deals 20 spell damage each second. So we can also see what their abilities do. Motley sends forth 3 spectral snakes at his target. Snakes strike the foes, dealing 75% of his ability power, I think, or spell power it's called in this game. Oh no, 75% of his attack damage, which is this one. And then spell power is like a percent scaling, where I think you can modify this more. But anyways, we are going to buy both of the reptiles. And then I assume that it's impossible to lose the first battle anyways. He puts up a shield. I'm just going to put in this guy. You put him like this. Obviously in TFT, like, positioning matters. So what I'm thinking here, by placing him like this, because his range is 7. So he'll be able to attack this guy, and this guy will take longer to get to him. So hopefully this guy will be dead before this guy even gets to us. So then we go up here, press fight. In the tutorial, it's going to be very straightforward. Okay, these guys are kind of fast, but I can't imagine that we'll lose. Oh, we could also, I forgot to speed it up. That's the other good thing about it being single player. You got like speed up options and stuff like that. You don't have to wait for other players to finish their stuff. So here you can see we finish it. We got 2 star points and 1 XP. XP is going to work a little bit different in this, like I said, but we'll wait until we actually level up to talk about that. Here we see that this is going to be our next fight. And you can also see that our army size went up. So different from TFT, you don't level up to get your army size up. At the beginning of the game, I think is only in the tutorial, you get 1 army size per match. After the tutorial matches, you'll have an army size of 4, and that won't increase until you kill a boss. So you'll see what all that means in the future. But yeah, leveling up is going to give us perks, which we'll see in a little bit as well. So you could see here another interesting thing is the bottom shop doesn't automatically reroll at the end of a round. But at the start of the round, we get a free reroll. So if we had anything that we couldn't afford at the end of last round, we can pick it up now. And then we can reroll afterwards. Now we do have 2 star points. I'm thinking about these marksmen. What do marksmen do? They gain 20% attack damage. At the start of combat, summon a training dummy with 25% of your marksman's total health. So that's kind of like they make a tank for themselves, huh? Every 6 seconds in combat, they gain 15% maximum HP and attack damage up to 3 stacks. Seems pretty good, huh? Beast. I don't even know what Beast does. Obviously, I didn't get to use all these units. Start a combat when an enemy dies, your Beast's Frenzy, gaining 30 attack speed. That doesn't seem very good. Although Beasts gain 15% attack damage and 15% lifesteal seems really good. So, I think a common tactic in TFT would be to just buy both of these, because you can just sell them for the same price. I don't know if you lose money in this game at all. Like, if you combine these units, like, if these are all 1 rarity units, right? You can see up here they cost 1. If you combine 3 of them into a tier 2 unit, much like TFT, you could still sell it for 3. I know in TFT, sometimes more expensive units, once you've combined them, you sell them for less. I don't know if that's present in this game because I didn't play that much. But anyways, we're going to re-roll now, see if we can get anything better. We do have another Shelly and another Monty. But since we're not going to, it's not going to upgrade us at all to buy these, so we might as well just wait until next round after we've made the money and just buy them then. And we might as well just go 2 reptiles, I think. So this guy's a tank. He'll build a protective shield for himself, and we now have 2 reptiles. So here you can see we get 10 armor every 3 seconds and 5 attack speed. So we'll go ahead and start it. In this game, I was pretty excited when I saw it, because I was like, I like auto battlers. I just hate having to always play with other people, right? Because sometimes you don't want, like, the pressure of being in an online match or whatever, or you don't want to have to wait for everyone to take their turn, or you want to have more time to make your turns, stuff like that. It can be annoying. So having a game where it's single player is nice. I am going to buy these 2, and then we will re-roll, because I don't think we really want any of these. None of these fit what we currently have. Obviously, that's not an end-all, be-all, but... So here we see we can upgrade Monty, but we'd have to sell a unit. I see that we have a second skeleton marksman, so I'm thinking about getting rid of this guy. We're going to go ahead, sell this guy, get a Monty. So now we have a tier 2 Monty. He got 40% HP, I think, and like 20% attack damage. Oh, tier bonus, you can see right there. And then tier bonus, yeah. So that makes us stronger. We do have another unit that we could put in. Unfortunately, no one really synergizes with what we have. I could put 2 of these guys, actually. That's probably the best. Even though, so similar to TFT, if I put in a second guy like this, it doesn't give me 3 reptiles. They need to be all unique reptiles. But the good thing about this guy is he is a reptile, so he will get the bonus for me having 2 reptiles on the field. And you can see here, this is where the enemies start to have some buffs. This guy specifically has 50% max health, plus 3 mana regen, and plus 30% attack damage. And this buff gets stronger the further you are in the game. But right now we're early, so it doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and play this out. You can see up here the total health. So we have like almost 3,000 total health. They have like 875 total health. Okay, so I think that's it for the tutorial now, the goblins. You can see here we had full hearts, so we don't gain another heart. There is an aspect of spending hearts in this game, which if it comes up, we'll talk about it. So I'm going to grab this guy. Just because he's a duplicate and we could always just sell both of them if we wanted. Gonna reroll anything that synergizes. Nothing really synergizes here unless we bought this guy again and tried to put him in at the same time. That is a possibility, right? We could take this guy out, put 2 rangers in, or marksmen in. I also kind of like Sir Sparkles. Sir Sparkles I used one time. He's a healer. Currently, you can see we don't have any healers. But he also doesn't synergize with anything we have. So we can also look at each of his units. They also don't move around. Like, once they're placed, right? In TFT, you could move all of your units with 1 second left before the match starts to try and throw off your opponent. In this game, you know where your opponent's going to be, so you're setting up for them. So this guy has a skeleton. They're all tier 1. What does marksman do again? 20% attack damage. And we would get the dummy. It's pretty good, huh? The only thing I don't like about this is we're going to have lots of backline units that die very quickly. Oh, another tree folk. How good is tree folk again? It can be good if we can get him to live a long time. What do you do? Replica of himself next to a random enemy, which taunts adjacent foes. Has 15% of his max HP. So he's kind of like a tank, but he's not of the tank subclass. He's instead of the mage subclass. I don't see how that would be good, though. Their spell power is reduced, so he would make 2 replicas of himself, but they would have like 12% of his max HP instead if we had 2 mages. But anyways, I think we should just play this out. So you can see there the dummy spawned. We can see what the dummy does. Doesn't really do anything, just has health, and enemies will attack it. Because enemies, I think, almost always attack the closest thing unless they say otherwise. This is actually not going that well, huh? We're gonna win. But, like, our tank died really fast. We might need to rethink our strategy. Okay, so here we don't have a choice, but you can see, like, now the rewards aren't just laid out in front of us. We'll get a unique perk, and we'll get a component. So there's items as well, just like TFT. It's a lot of... like I said, I'm probably not going to read the text. But, okay, so here's where it's going to get interesting. So we have this component. So in TFT, you combine 2 items to make a bigger item, right? The 2 items are components. In this case, this is a component. We can look at everything that it combines into. You can combine it with all these other components into bigger weapons or whatever. That's not really relevant right now just because we don't have a second component. But, so we essentially can get a component that gives us 2 mana regen and will build into something mana related in the future. Or we can get a mallet, which I think is an already completed item. It's not on this list. It must be a combination of 2 other things, which is going to give 20% attack damage, 20% health, and every 3 seconds the wearer's next attack deals bonus spell damage equal to 4% of his max health. This is kind of like a tank item. But this comes with curse, 2 points of curse. Each curse adds 5% chance for a unit in the store to become chained. Chains on a unit can be broken by spending a heart. So essentially, these guys down here, while we're rolling for units, if we have 2 curse, then there's going to be a 10% chance that one of these guys is chained up and we have to spend our hearts to get the unit. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a unit we don't care about because we won't spend the heart, but if it is a unit that we care about, then we're going to need to spend the heart to get it. And then the final thing is kind of a modifier to our board. So in combat, one of the hexes on our side of the field is going to give +1 mana regen, and that's going to change every single match, so we'll have to like move our units around to put whoever we want to have an extra mana regen on that slot. Now, I do think I'm going to go with this. I don't think... I mean, Curse can damage you, but I don't think Curse is that bad. Especially in the early matches where you get a heart every time you win a match, right? So there's almost like you want to be able to spend the hearts. So we're going to go ahead and grab this. And then, so here is our first, like, real opponent. He will give us a sword, which gives 20% attack damage, and we know that that combines with... Oh, we didn't get the crystal. Never mind, we don't care about that then. So he's going to give us 1 XP, which will level us up and give us a perk, and he'll give us 5 star points, 2 gold. So, what do we got going on here? All of his units are tier 1, and he has a leader who's stronger, and the leader is his tank. So all of our items went into this bag here. You automatically, I think, every match get one of these lucky charms. You can drop it onto a unit, and then you get a unit that matches one of the traits, but it has to be a unit you don't already have. So what I'm thinking here is I want another reptile. Question is, do I want a poisoner? No, I think I want another tank, probably. Having a second tank. So this is either going to give us a reptile or a tank, right? It gave us a tank. So now we have an orc tank. So now I think we need to change our plan. I do think that's going to be beneficial. And now I think we should reroll. Okay, so here you could see 2 units got hit with the curse. I don't think we want either of these 2 units. But if we wanted them, they still cost their star point, but they also cost 1 heart. So here we actually have that, which will combine into a tier 2 tank here. And he got 20 armor, or 10 armor for tiering up. That's pretty good. There is the option to reroll for 2 star points as well. So the question is this guy good enough to put this on? I don't think he's that good. I think we're gonna save the mallet. Actually, I don't think we should save it. So there is, I remember, once you make it to the shop, which is not that hard to do, here we kind of have the path that we're going along. So you can see, I think the chest might be the shop, or this might be the shop. I'm pretty sure that one of these 2 is the shop. And we can buy an item for 1 gold that can take an item, or maybe all items, off of a single unit. So it's not that expensive, you just have to actually have that item to do it. Otherwise, I think like TFT, I could like sell this guy to get back all the items he has on him. So I think for now, he should have that. So he's going to be really strong. And then maybe we'll switch it later. Who do we want temporarily? I almost want Sir Sparkles. But we could reroll. Because I don't really think that one of these guys is going to be good enough. If it comes down to it, we will put that in. Really, I think I'd like something slightly better. What do we got? Okay, well, a tier 2 archer is pretty decent. I think if we do that, that might just be good enough. And then we're probably going to end up just buying 3 of these units. Because we could sell them all for the same price we bought them for. Let's go ahead and fight this out. Should be a pretty easy win. But again, this guy's really strong, right? Because he's the leader. Alright, we took him out. Oh, we should speed it up.
Well fought.
So that should give us 1 XP, right? Yep. So now we level up and we get to pick a trait. So obtain the Dragon Cannon, a special placeable object that fires flame blasts from the inventory. You can feed it gold to make it fire additional shots. Increase your maximum hearts by 1. That's interesting. Gain the special equipment signed portrait. And that, so special equipment is not a component or a final item. It's just an item. So some of them, I saw one where I could make it better by spending gold on it. I don't know about this one. It doesn't say it, so I don't think we can. But it gives 20 armor. Start a combat, the wearer taunts all enemies for 5 seconds. That's pretty good to put on this guy. Kind of want that. I feel like safety net is a poor decision. Oh, we also got the sword. Right. And it's just nice to have like all this, right? Like in TFT, you don't really know, unless you have the item, you don't know what it combines into. So this, you could see like everything it could possibly combine into. And this doesn't combine into anything. So here we could pick for rewards. So we can get a component. And this is just available rewards. It doesn't mean you get everything. Only in battles do you actually get everything. An equipment that can only be found here. So unique equipment or a component. Here we have another unique equipment, a unique consumable. Consumables we'll have to talk about at some point, but they come over here and you use them. They're like potions. Some of them you can use on a friendly unit to make them better for 1 match, and some of them you can use on an enemy unit to debuff them for 1 match. And a perk that can only be found here. I feel like this one's better because the perk has high potential. So what do we got here? We got, when your units cast for the 3rd time, they gain a shield for 30% of their HP. I don't like that much. Crystal Chassis. When hit, the wearer gains +2 spell power, capping at 20 stacks. Once the cap is hit, they also gain -15 maximum mana. -15 maximum mana is obviously good because it just makes it that, so this guy would then only take 60 mana to cast his ability, right? And then at the bottom here, we got Thieves' Tools. Drop this on an enemy to steal a random non-banner item from them. It'll also give us 2 curse. I don't know that they have that many items right now, so I'm thinking this Crystal Chassis is probably the best. So, now we have our next match. This is going to give us a potion. Drop this on an enemy unit to silence it for the first 20 seconds of combat. I assume silence makes it so they just can't cast. This also gives 4 gold, 7 star points, and 1 XP. So it's pretty much, do we want this potion or do we want 2 gold, right? We have an okay amount of gold at the moment. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't think we need that potion right now. Okay, so here you could see that they have a tier 2 unit. Can we see? It says he has Stalker and Tree Folk too. Doesn't have Beast, he has Stalker. Yeah, okay. So, go ahead, reroll. Sir Sparkles, probably don't need him. Monty. Do we want to keep building up Monties? And here's another thing. Poisoner. Let's grab another Monty. Grab this guy because he could synergize with Monty. So the problem is right now, this guy doesn't really synergize with anything, right? He's just a tier 2 unit. We have a whole bunch of useless guys. Let's put the important people up front. Usually this is... I like to organize my board just so I kind of know. Like these guys I'm trying to level up. These guys are kind of just placeholders at the moment. But I don't think any of them really panned out. But I don't think there's a benefit for having a certain number of star points. Like in TFT, if you have 10 gold coins and a round ends, then you get an extra 1 gold coin on the end of the round. I don't think that happens in this game. At least not that I've noticed. So now let's go ahead and use our items. I'm thinking we just give all this to this tank dude. Because he's already got this, so he's stronger. He deals % of his maximum health to people. He's got armor. We'll give him 30 more armor. He'll taunt everybody. And when he gets hit, his spell power is going to go up, which will make his shield better. I think we just give this all to him. And like I said, if we can get that item in the future, just unequip this from people. What do I want here? I think I give it to this guy because I'm more likely to use this guy going forward. So another thing about this game is if you try to start the round and you haven't used all your items, it'll tell you that you haven't used all your items. Obviously nothing like that happens in... Oh, so it didn't taunt these guys, huh? But nothing like that happens in like TFT because the match is just starting. You don't get to make everyone else wait. Okay, so now we travel to another place. We can either get 9 star points, we can get this book to instantly level up. That's a tough one, huh? Everything here is pretty good. The thing I noticed about one of my runs is this blessing gets better the more times you take it. So like you can see it says Shrine's Blessing 1. If we get it, then the next time we see it, it'll say Shrine's Blessing 2, and it'll be like an upgraded version. Granted, it'll still be the same hex that it affects, but it'll do like extra stuff on top of that. So I'm kind of tempted to grab that. Obviously 9 star points is a lot of star points. That could get us lots of units. So getting another perk would be good, but I don't think we want to get that much curse right now. But maybe I'm too scared of curse. I don't know. I've never died because of curse, but I've also only tried a few runs. I'm gonna grab this, I think. Okay, so what this does is gonna upgrade the shop. So now the units on the far right are gonna be uncommon units. So if you were wondering why leveling up didn't make us get rarer units, that's you get rarer units by making certain progress in the run. So now we're at the shop. So here you have the item remover, which costs 1 gold, like I talked about earlier. Lifeline. I've seen a pale heart before. It kind of just like covers up your other hearts and it gets taken before that heart gets taken. Drop on an enemy to temporarily remove them from combat for the first 6 seconds. So I feel like we're probably going to want at least one item remover, but let's see what items we can get. Wearer becomes a demon. We don't really have any demon. Like, this guy's a demon, but we don't have any other demons. Reduce all incoming damage. This is more of a tank item. How does this combine with the sword? It also is nice because I can click on this, and it shows me that I already own a sword because it's lit up. And that would combine into 20% attack speed, 15%... Oh, I said it backwards. 20% attack damage, 15% attack speed. Attacks hit foe for an additional 40% damage. That's pretty good. I kind of want that. So in theory, we could get this, this. But who wants this mana regen even? Could get the lifeline to try and survive the boss. I think the boss is not this next fight, but the fight after that. Go ahead, give me an item remover. Give me this glove. I'm gonna go ahead, put this glove on this, and you can see it shows you what it goes into. I could buy the crystal. Or I could buy a potion. How good is your ability here? We gave him 2 more mana regen. Be at 8. He starts with 0 mana, by the way. So it currently takes him 8 seconds. A little bit more than 8 seconds to get his ability. We give him this, it'll take him 6 seconds to get it. It's pretty good, huh? I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna buy the second item remover, I think. So now we're picking... Ooh, a second crystal. I think here we're gonna pick for what the items can give us. They can combine into another crystal. This gives attack speed and on-attack mana. That's really good. Well, it'll be really good for this guy, right? And then if we had 2 of these, it would give 4 mana. Grants additional mana regen equal to 5% of mana. It would really only work if we had a unit that had a whole bunch of mana. So I think we want this because these gloves would be very nice.
Oh, looks like I scuffed the paint on this one last time.
So let's go ahead and give this guy some extra mana. And then let's look at what we're dealing with here. We got 2 tier 2 units. Okay, so you can see that the shrine bonus is right here. A unit placed here will get 1 extra mana regen. Might as well just give it to this guy, huh? Because this guy's probably just going to be able to win this fight all on his own. We do want to make sure that we reroll. Because I don't think I want these lurches. So what do we got? Let's go. Oh, we got lots of Shellys. Any of these... None of these synergize with what we have going already. I'm gonna sell something. What are we not using at all? We're not using this at all. Go ahead, give me another Shelly. Could re-roll again. I think we will. Here's another Shelly. So this game's a little bit easier to get to tier 3 because you only need 2 tier 2 units to get there. So you can see this guy's now tier 3. This guy we're not actually using. What is this? Orc Brawler. or this is a tank. There's a good chance to get an upgraded unit. The orc, unfortunately, would probably be the first one to go. What do you do? Kick units. What do you do? Spell damage causing vulnerability, 30% damage taken. All allies who are able to attack the mauled foe switch to targeting it. That's interesting. It's probably better than this orc, right? Because it's a tier 2 unit. You can sell the tier 2 units for the same. I think we do that because we keep all the same bonuses. And I think I should probably sell some of these. I have a feeling I'm not going to ever use that guy. I don't think I'm ever going to use you. We'll keep these two because these two do have some synergies. And we'll try and spend our star points more next round, I think. Do have this potion, but I think we'll save it for the boss, maybe? Okay, so everyone's going for the big guy. Which is good for us. This guy teleported back here. Okay, that was pretty easy. Yeah, no one can kill our big guy right now. He's got so many items. He's tier 3. He's just way too strong. Okay, we got the glove. I like to go through... Because you could do this stuff whenever. Like, I could reroll now, right? But like you saw, the shop gave us an extra unit when we went through the story stuff first. So I think you should go through the story stuff first. So we got a unique unit, unique consumable, art, money. Alright, what do we got? I don't know what these mean, right? Because I haven't seen this event before. I assume this is going to give us different rewards based on what we choose. We're gonna go with less is more. What did it give us? Sky will remember you. Displeased Sky. That doesn't seem very good. And you can see any buffs that we get, like that's a buff. So that's up here. So what we could get is a Demon War Banner, which we're not using, a Horror War Banner, which we're not using. Or you can get War Banners and shops are half off. Okay, so now I kind of know what that is. I think the first time I saw it, I didn't know what that was. And River will remember us. I kind of want to take this, right? Because we're not using any of these other things. I just realized, though, if you don't have a demon... I wouldn't be able to see what demons do. Like, I can't right-click this to see what demons or horrors do. Luckily, this guy is both, but... I think I'm gonna go with this. Hope that this somehow pans out, or the half-off war banners actually help us. Because so far, these war banners are not really what I want. But maybe having that river person like us will help us in the future. Okay, what do we got here? Just one tier 2 unit, and this is a boss. So this shrine will give 1 extra mana regen. I think I just want to reroll now. Poisoner. Okay, this guy. Oop. What do we get? We got the glove. We want that. Do we reroll again? What do we got? What do beasts do? Start of combat. Oh, they frenzy. I really don't think any of this is that useful. I'm gonna reroll one more time. I'm trying to get a little bit stronger before we fight the boss, but not really giving us the opportunity, unfortunately. Maybe put this guy here with an extra mana regen. I think this guy's probably just going to be unkillable, I would hope. We'll just go with that. So this guy, you can see he has like 2 health bars, right? Because his first health bar is covered by the second one. And these guys, they do something passively, but doesn't look like it's going to matter. Okay, so we leveled up, so we get another trait. Gain a shield component. Your units with an equipped shield component or shield completed item deal 25 spell damage to adjacent foes when attacked. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't even realize there was a reroll. Oh, it's not unlocked yet. Okay, fair enough. Another war banner. So we'd get a demon war banner in one of that unit. In combat rooms, gain the hex modifier Knife Storm. In one of the middle 2 columns, a unit placed there throws a knife at a random foe that deals 80 spell damage every 5 seconds. That could be pretty good too. So the problem with the Shield Master is our unit that would make the best use of that cannot have a shield unless I unequipped all of his items, but then I'm just equipping a basic shield, which is just worse than all of these items, right? So I almost want the Knife Storm. Or I could get the Shield Master and put it on our other tank. Probably better, right? Okay, so when this happens, it just means that you're done with the act. And so you get an army size increase for beating a boss. Okay, so let's continue. Fire potion or health potion? It's pretty much the choice. Although you could see that some of the numbers are flipped. Health potion heals 2% of its max HP per second and gets 10 armor. Remove its armor, it loses 2% of its max HP per second. That seems really good. On an enemy, obviously. I think we go with this one. Less star points, but we have lots of star points. 2 XP. Let's do that. So I don't really want any of these units, do I? Could get Beast. Could get Poisoner. Venom reduces healing and deals 20 spell damage each second. So I'm trying to figure out what other buff we want to get. We could get Marksman. I don't get why this guy's not a Marksman. It's kind of weird. But this guy attacks really quickly, right? So he'll be able to apply this Venom a lot. I don't know how the Venom works, if it stacks or not. It doesn't say, unfortunately. What else could we get? Skeleton. Alright, skeletons come back to life. I think we re-roll this. Is Beast 4 any good? Oh yeah, Beast 4 is pretty good. What about you? Do you do anything cool? Drains its target, dealing spell damage and healing himself. But he doesn't have very much health. I'm going to buy this guy temporarily. Okay, so we got more of this skeleton dude. Stuns and damages a target, then slows foes nearby them. Thinking we're probably going for Poisoner for now, huh? What does Mushroom do? Mushrooms get plus 50 starting mana. When mushrooms cast, they gain 15 spell power. When mushrooms cast, other mushrooms gain 15 mana. That's pretty good, huh? But obviously we can't get that buff right now. What do we got here? Plus 1 mana. Regen. Just make this guy shoot even faster. I think we're going to alternate. If it's up in the front 2 rows, our tank will take it. If it's in the back 2 rows, probably this guy will take it. This is also going to be tough. They have lots of healers. They have healer 4. What does that do? Gains charge equal to 50% of your unit's healing. Zaps foes. Okay, so luckily we have poison, which will lower their healing. This is not really how I want that, though. Okay, so am I going to put this on... How does this work exactly? To adjacent foes, so it's going to have to be on a melee unit. Could be on this guy, though. This guy's a tank, so he's going to be harder to kill. So I think I'm going to give him the buckler. And then I'm going to swap you two out. Like so. And we really should reroll, look for maybe another upgrade. I don't really think that's what I want. Rose into Super Stumpy. So if he uses his ability once, he just turns into Super Stumpy? But that's kind of weird because then he really can't cast again, huh? So you don't really care about his mana regen that much. You just care that he lives until he casts, and then that, like, you make his cast better by, like, boosting the spell power or something. That's a weird type of unit. I gotta reroll again here. Another mushroom. Summons a turret that copies his stats. A mush turret. Oh, you need to be up front, right? You're melee? But you're not like a tank, so maybe you sit a little bit back. Yeah, I'm not sure here. I think we get rid of Maurice. I mean, you're an extra tank, though. When a tank dies, other allies gain 10 armor, 10 attack speed, and 2 mana regen. Getting tank 4 would be pretty good. Let's buy this dude. Reroll again. What do we got? Just nothing. Just trying to upgrade some of the units that we have, but... Monty... We're one away from upgrading Monty again. Well, let's try for it. Didn't work out. Okay, well. I think we'll just play this one out then. Should be okay because they're healer and we have poisoners. Hopefully. Going pretty well. Seems like we're just gonna win because they can't really kill our tank dude. And our Monty over there is just laying out lots of damage. Okay, so let's do this stuff first. What do we got here? We can either get a tier 2 guy that doesn't really synergize with us very well. We could get this guy. What is this? Falls down 3 meteors. This must be a special unit. And it also gives us this guy, which is maybe another special unit. It is reptile. This kind of synergized pretty well. Drop this on a friendly non-legend unit to summon 3 random units that share traits with it. Or we could get the Shrine Blessing 2, which makes it so you get the 1 mana regen. Wait, what? Grants a unit plus 20% max. Oh, health. Yeah, that's just a good buff. But I really think we want this, right? Because it gives us Reptile and it gives us Poisoner. Where do I see what tier of unit you are? Doesn't really say, I don't think. Gonna choose this. Alright, who are we gonna fight? So remember that our bucklers have a special ability combined with it. So I think we want another shield because we have Shield Master. What do they have? They're all tier 2. And this guy has an item, the same item that we have. Okay, so we're not obviously allowed to have all this on here. I think we start by re-rolling. Here's another one of you. So that guy's tier 3 now. That's pretty useful. Here's another reptile. Grab this guy. And so, yeah, it won't let you start combat while these guys are here. I forget where it tells you that. It tells you that somewhere. I remember I saw it one time, but... So we got to decide what our squad is going to be now. We don't need this guy. Because we could just run this guy. Oh, it tells you here. We could run this guy as the Poisoner. Draining... channels 5 draining pulses, dealing spell damage and healing... per enemy hit. After channeling, the drained energy is expelled in a final burst. That seems pretty good, huh? This guy's just kind of a ranged DPS. So we don't need Mushroom anymore. Oh, we don't need that. Question is, what's better, a third reptile? I mean, I guess we kind of want to poison really badly. Put this guy away. Oh, we do have extra money. Let's do a reroll. What do we get? Another Monty. There we go. That's good. So we'll go ahead and put Monty here. This guy's melee. So the problem is we have 2 units here that we haven't been able to upgrade at all, huh? Poisoners die. That's... I don't know if I want that or not, especially because our main DPS is a poisoner. If he's dying, then that's a problem. Reptiles are immune to crowd control and gain 3 mana on hit. That's really good, huh? We could get more reptiles in. What are you getting for us? Like, you're nothing except a tier 3 unit. He's not providing any bonus. Oh, also, in case you were wondering, there is this where you could see who's doing your damage. And who on the enemy team did damage. You could also, like, see their healing, how much they're tanking. I don't know what utility seems to be how many kills they got. I don't know how that counts as utility, but... So, I'm considering swapping some people out, but... What do you guys have available to? You have Tree Folk 5. So they just gain more stacks faster. That's a problem. Do you have anything else? Doesn't seem like it. So they just have Tree Folk 5. The longer they live, the worse it gets. I just can't, like, I would want to replace these two guys, right? I want to replace this guy, but I don't think I can replace him with a tier 1 unit. I think that's going to feel pretty bad. And just adding a third reptile doesn't really help because these guys aren't going to be strong enough. I think having Poisoner too is going to be better than a third reptile. Ooh. As long as Monty doesn't die, I think we're fine though. Yeah, they can't really kill this tank either. The fact that he taunts everyone at the start of the match is so good.